The Trailblazers' final couple games. The regular season is winding down. We've got 2 games to go. We got the Warriors in town. Good morning, Steph Curry. Thank you for listening to the program.
Steve Kerr's a big fan of the show.
Draymond Green, you should probably get tossed more than you do. So be thankful for that.
Without a doubt.
Are fans booing GP2 anymore when he comes back?
I think people don't
so.
like GP2.
Okay.
That's an all-time bad signing by the Trailblazers front office. That's also...
Which is so hard for Beaver fans because GP is beloved.
It's a weird place to be in for an Oregon State fan, and I felt that way for over a year. It's like I used to root for him to be good everywhere, and now I don't want him to
Then
do
the whole
well.
medical staff, cortisone stuff, they were forcing him to do X, Y. Like, that just was... What a scumbag.
They were filing, an investigation against us or whatever, and then that got dropped. And
hey, we got a lot of second-round picks for that, though. How about those second-round picks?
Doing us well.
You need some reason to go to Moda Center tonight as 14-point dogs.
I went on Blazers Reddit, which can be dangerous at times, and I saw...
What's that like these days?
Well, they're the greatest team of all time, don't you know?
I mean, we're
God
gonna
forbid,
well, it was either one of 2 directions.
Well, yeah, it tends to be on the internet that direction.
Shade Sharp is the next Michael Jordan, or there's no hope.
No, but I did see a post that somebody was like, Scoot post the All-Star break has been pretty bad.
He's been really
bad. His numbers have dropped from what they were.
He had a little brief stretch there, and then it didn't last very long, and then he got hurt.
Very similar to his play last year where he played well at the end. It's like didn't play well to start, then had this moment, and then didn't play well at the – like his good was a little in the middle there. Somebody was like, yeah, I could see. This is why you bring Ant back next year. And I went, yep. I'm gonna get off the internet now. But it's the end of
Is there any defense of that next year on opening night if Anthony Simons is still on the team?
Yeah, you don't have a point guard that can shoot. I'm just you asked for a defense. I'm giving you a defense. Scoot cannot shoot.
So we're
cannot
going to
trust him to shoot.
3rd overall pick off the bench or the 7th overall pick off the bench? Which one comes off the bench in year 3 or year 4 of their career?
Look, the Blazers won't say this. I think if Ant is back, they are telling you without telling you it was a bust pick.
Then why don't you trade him this offseason before the stock completely plummets?
If he's telling you if they bring him back, they are telling you that was a bust pick. And why you don't trade him? Because you can't. I don't know. Not many teams trade their 3rd pick.
You can't. You can. You can do anything you want. You run an NBA organization.
I know. Well, I don't run the organization.
Anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett once told me.
Anyways, thank you for distracting me. Final 2 games of the regular season. This is it for your Trailblazers.
Fan Appreciation Weekend.
Yay! Go Blazer fans.
We got through a season.
Yes, we did it.
One, I'm fascinated to see if Toumani Camara is going to make All-NBA. A couple national podcasts that I listen to.
All NBA or all defense?
All defense team, thank you.
I was going to say.
Oof, I think you're a little bit too much time on Reddit there. I mean, he's first team All NBA, right? It's got to be.
Better be in receiving votes category.
He's the next Scottie Pippen, dude. You don't not put that guy first team All NBA.
Anyways,
I digress.
A couple of national shows I listened to didn't have him on. He was mentioned, but they were like, yeah. Sorry, all due respect, but they named all these players. I'm like, oh, those are all pretty good players. But then you kind of dabble in. You see some other people. Dame saying yesterday he should be all first-team defensive team.
It's a nice compliment.
That's a very nice compliment. Obviously, he's setting up his return to Portland. Is clearly what we're doing there.
2 years for that? Or maybe after next season?
Why couldn't it be next year?
We need another guard.
Milwaukee's going to fail in the playoffs. We all know that's happening.
I mean, has he got 1 more year left on his deal?
2.
Because you're not bringing him back on that contract.
Well, you've got
There's no chance you're trading back for that contract.
You got to clear some stuff.
You trade Jeremy.
There's no chance.
You trade DA.
That would be a horrific move.
And you trade Ant, and you still don't have a point guard that can shoot. I mean, there's some money that's open here.
I understand, but there's a lot of work the Crone Zone's got to do to clear up that space.
Anyways, my point is he's saying he's first team all defensive team in the NBA. I texted our guy Golliver because he released his awards. The only one I disagreed with was Executive of the Year. Who would you guess Ben Golliver gave Executive of the Year to with his vote?
Oh.
Pelinka?
You would be correct.
Yeah, I mean, he traded for Luka Doncic.
Well, I actually, my argument was
kind of a steal.
Nico weirdly just wanted to trade Luka to Rob Pelinka. Pelinka just answered the phone and said, hey, oh yeah, I'd be in. I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, that's all really Rob Pelinka did.
I mean, you're not wrong, but he did get Luka Doncic in one of the biggest fleece trades of all time.
You're right. He also canceled a trade for a center, a position they clearly need going into the playoffs, and that dude's actually been amazing post the trade deadline if you go look at his numbers.
That is true.
But I digress. I asked him, who would you would Toumani Camara make your all-defensive teams? And he said, yeah. So I'm very curious to see. Is Toumani Camara, we got 2 more games to go. Is Toumani going to end up making an all-defensive team?
I think he deserves it the way that he played. The hard part that he has going for him is that he has been on national television once this year.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing
But
of like
most of the voters are smart.
I'm not saying they're not
If they
smart,
dig
man,
into
but
the stats and do some research, then yes.
League leader in charges.
I think
He's up there.
a lot of the metrics point to it, man. But at the end of the day, there's also the fact of like you're not watching every game, and so you can dive into the numbers at the end of the season, but is he going to lose out to somebody who's more top of mind because you just saw them play more often throughout the course of the year? And I think a lot of these voters are smart. They watch every game. Mm-hmm. But how many Blazer games has the average All-NBA voter watched this year?
I don't know.
Right? I have no clue. It's like you get this with the Heisman stuff, with late games on the West Coast. Like I think most people are educated on the sport, but you're not watching every 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern kickoff time.
But Tim McMahon is somebody that you cite. So you read Tim McMahon of
I do.
ESPN. I would assume you put him in a category of smart NBA.
How many Blazer games do you think Tim McMahon's watched this year?
Well, but this is my question. He goes to Mavericks games. But he does a national NBA podcast with Windhorse, and he's on SportsCenter all the time. Do you trust Tim McMahon's vote in the all-defensive team categories?
I would like to if you dove into the numbers and you knew what you were talking about.
But do you trust that he is going to?
Yeah, I guess.
So I think there's a lot of voters like him for that league.
I mean, he should be an all-defensive player. He should be. The way that he played this year, he absolutely deserves it.
But then Zach Lowe didn't have him on. And I'm like, well, Zach Lowe's pretty damn smart.
I think it's a good reminder for Blazer fans for as pie in the sky some people are on Blazer Reddit of the future of the organization. Mm-hmm. I think it's a simple reminder, like you are literally an afterthought in the league. You are irrelevant.
Yeah, you are one of the most irrelevant franchises in the league.
I mean, you have been one of the worst teams in the NBA going on 4+ years now. The face of the franchise guy who brought attention and eyeballs to your team has now been gone for the second straight year.
And you haven't had a guy to really replace that at all.
You were an afterthought. People talk about you draft time, people talk about you lottery time, and then you get little nuggets here or there throughout the course of the year when somebody gets hot or goes on a nice run.
Right.
That's it. And so you are literally an afterthought. And so for Zach Lowe, who I think is one of the smartest basketball minds out there, to not have him on, to me, this is the example of what I'm bringing up.
I mentioned him, but he just didn't have him on his 2 teams.
And if the Blazers had been on national TV and in more prominent games throughout the course of the year, there's not a ballot in the NBA that wouldn't have Kamara on an all-defensive team. It's just they're an afterthought organization.